So both sides looking for a win, looking for some consistency. So here we go. North Melbourne kicking to the right of screen. Melbourne going to the left. Big Jim Stynes winning it out for the Demons. Schwass overruns it. Goes towards the half-back line for North Melbourne. Trying to get through was McRae. Couldn't get away. Eventually a quick kick comes from German, but it lands with Big Jim Stynes. Very quickly on to Brett Lovett, who's looking to get back into form. Up towards Spalding. Couldn't complete the mark. Lovell gives it out. Now a chance for the Demons through Beveridge, and the mark has been taken. Here's Bennett, just 30 metres out, almost directly in front.
He's a big worry to North Melbourne too, Bennett, playing at full forward. Has the height advantage over Michael Martin, 196 centimetres to 189. He's kicked 18 goals for the season and has been kicking very accurately.
Let's see how he can start Melbourne off today. It looks pretty good. There's a goal to the Demons. Bennett 1, Melbourne 1.
Yes, as I said, Sandy, he's kicked 18 goals, 5 for the season, averaging nearly 5 goals a match. And I think he's well on his way to 100 goals for the season, big Darren Bennett, especially playing here at the MCG. An excellent mark in front, strong pair of hands. Michael Martin just didn't have the height to punch that ball away, and his kicking has improved immensely in front of goal.
So early doors in this big game between Melbourne and North Melbourne. The kick by Stynes goes out wide to half forward. The bounce is a little awkward. Coming in is Todd Viney, a tremendous player for Melbourne. Gets a lot of the hard balls. Here's another one who gets a lot of the hard ones. Owen, kick across the front of goals, and it's helped through by Michael Martin for a rush behind to Melbourne. The North Melbourne will need to work very, very hard around the centre of the ground to stop the supply to key forward Spalding and Bennett. And of course, on the other hand, Longmire and Carey could be dangerous for Melbourne at the other end of the ground. The kick in is marked by Brayshaw. We've already mentioned is a last-minute inclusion in the North Melbourne side for Darren Crocker. Brayshaw, drop punt kick to centre wing, and a Melbourne mark taken out there by Stretch. Quick hand pass, brilliant to Grinter. Grinter's kick into full forward, and a good mark taken back there by Ross Smith. Back into the North Melbourne side. He kicks straight across the ground. Dangerous, very dangerous. Good play by Schwass. No, it wasn't. Umpire awards the free kick to Glenn Lovett, who may have the job tagging Wayne Schwass. The kick by Glenn Lovett into the goal square. Marking contest, 2-on-2. The ball hits the ground, or trying to crash his way through. Beveridge is a chance. Left foot shot by Beveridge is another goal to Melbourne. Great roving in the forward line by Luke Beveridge. And a lovely snapshot with the left foot gets Melbourne's second goal. Demons 2-1, North yet to score.
Well, Robbo, it wasn't so much a roving there. It was Michael Martin's mistake. As we have a look at this in replay, Martin gets possession of the ball. A beautiful hand pass, unfortunately, to the opposition. And Beveridge had no problem swinging that one across his body for that goal.
13 points the margin, favouring Melbourne. Back in the middle again. Stynes comes over the top. Rock can't win it out of the centre. Neither can German. A chance for Melbourne to go forward through Dyson. A long kick down towards half forward. But that ball is going to go back, and North will repel it. The defence has been under plenty of pressure very early on. That's a poor kick close to the boundary line. Spargo will keep it in. Cross to Schwass. Gets the handball away once more. Now Brayshaw on the end of it. Taking it from Smith. Brayshaw slow, but he gets his kick in time, up towards the half-forward line, and for the first time in this match through McCarthy, North Melbourne will go deep into their attacking zone. That is a good kick to Anthony Rock.
There's perfectly weighted kick there from McCarthy, a very talented player, uses the ball well, and will have to be really watched closely by Rodney Grinter.
So Rock, 35 metres out. Fairly tight angle for him.
Interesting. Took 2 steps to the left to improve the angle. No reaction from the central umpire.
The only reaction came from a small portion of this crowd who just picked up on it. Rock's kick. Looks pretty good. And North are on the board with a goal. 2-1, plays 1 straight goal.
Well, what would you say about that, Bernie? Those 2 steps being a full forward of great note, surely that would have made a big difference.
Well, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it, Robbo? And the umpire should have been right onto that. He normally is, especially on that tight angle. Like Rock was on a fairly tight angle. And 2 paces in can make all the difference in those circumstances.
Melbourne by 7 points. Gallagher gets North to half forward. Tap on by McCarthy. He can't get through. Yes, he can. Hand pass over the top. Big punch by Grinter. Strong play by Rodney Grinter. And he forces the ball over for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Demons got off to a great start, kicking quick goals through Bennett and Beveridge. And Anthony Rock, just about a minute ago, got North Melbourne's first. Gallagher can't get through. Brett Lovell to tap on. Good to see players striving hard to move the ball on so they're not penalised. Stretch, usually pretty good, but this time he makes a bit of a blue. Rock, Spargo, goes for goal and puts it through. A bad mistake by Melbourne. So North get their second goal. An opportunist goal really by Paul Spargo, and they trail by just 1 point.
Well, here's the mistake coming here from Stephen Stretch. Gets the ball very well. Probably went the wrong way. Just panicked a little bit when he saw a few North Melbourne defenders coming at him. And this allowed Spargo, who played a great game last week in the West, to kick that goal.
It's almost a line ball here now. Just a point in it, favouring Melbourne. No one able to win it effectively clear, but it goes down towards North Melbourne's half forward line, only as far as Lovett. Ignores Grinter and goes the other side. Jim Stynes put a bit of pressure on the big man. He's going to have to use his pace. Gets away from Gallagher. Kicks up towards Lovell. Can't take the mark, and again forced over the line, but Melbourne have it almost down to their 50-metre attacking line. Fairly standing his ground. Spalding comes over the top. Febey gets it out. Oh, here's a chance now for Melbourne. Tucked in the pocket. A kick attempting to go short to Bennett. Bennett gets the hand pass back again, and a kick under pressure goes out of bounds on the full. Is that Earl Spalding?
Yep.
So North a chance to get out of trouble through Ian Fairley.
Doesn't get too many raps for his goal-kicking ability, does Big Earl. And on that occasion, under a bit of pressure, missed that 21-metre front. Good play there by Lovell. Goes off to Bryce. No, it wasn't Bryce, Dyson. And Dyson's kick is out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Melbourne on the full. So the free kick to be taken back there by Fairley. Dyson, an ex-Oakley player, formerly coached by one of my ex-teammates, Brian Quirk. So Dyson doing pretty well in his endeavours to play senior AFL football, as Paul Spargo takes it over for a boundary throw-in. Must be fairly highly regarded here at North Melbourne as Paul Spargo. He seems to get back into the side pretty quickly when he's fit. Jackson with pace, can't break away, and good pressure by Storitsky forces the ball over, and we'll have another boundary throw-in. It's about 20 metres closer to the Melbourne goal.
And it is Melbourne who leads by a point. Spalding with the right hand tries to get it down, not effective. Viney, a chance, almost back on the wing. Todd Viney, stab pass. This is effective. Jackson gives it back to Viney. Long and low in towards full forward. Well, Todd Viney has been a form player for Melbourne, and Darren Cuthbertson now has the opportunity to finish off the good work set up by Viney.
Yes, Viney has been an excellent player for Melbourne this season, averaging over 19 kicks. And Cuthbertson also has been a good player.
30 metres out. He makes no mistake. Melbourne moved to 3-1. North Melbourne are 2 straight goals.
Yes, Viney has been a top player playing as a ruck rover. There we see he gave that pass off to Jackson and continued to run on, received the hand pass back and delivered it very well into the forward line to Cuthbertson, who finished it off. A magnificent kick for goal. And he's one of the big improvers in the Melbourne side.
Well, goals coming rather easily here at the MCG, and what we would have thought would have been a pressure game. At centre-half back, Stynes goes backwards to Brett Lovett. Brett Lovett's kick across his left shoulder to centre-half forward, no mark. Who can gather the crumbs? McRae for North Melbourne. A long kick by Dean McRae up towards full forward, but a good mark taken by Campbell. looking more and more like Rudolph Valentino every week as Tony Campbell. The kick towards centre wing. The mark or free kick had been paid, but the advantage is ruled, and Luke Beveridge, who's been conspicuous early, kicked the centre half forward. North Melbourne will repel quite nicely. Brayshaw on the end of it, gives it to German. German's long drop punt kick to the outer half forward flank. At the back, quick to recover is Rode. Rhodes kick, high, out towards the wing, the bouncing ball close to the boundary line. Scholl manages somehow to keep it in, and the short pass is good. He finds German. German plays on, approaches centre half forward, kicks to full forward. It may roll through. No, it's a mark back there to Longmire. And Johnny Longmire, Bernie really should kick this goal.
Well, he will be on some sort of an angle, but only kicking from inside 10 metres, so it should not be a problem to last year's leading goal kicker, 98 goals last season. So there shouldn't be any worries with this kick.
Longmire kicks from only a matter of metres out and makes no mistake. So John Longmire gets his first goal, and again Melbourne's lead is brought back to just 1 point. It's been an entertaining first 10 minutes.
Yes, here's where Stephen Stretch just loses his footing there, a bit unfortunate, and Scholl was able to then deliver the ball beautifully to German in the centre. He ran a fair way there, Peter German, but the long kick into the goal square gave Longmire the chance. Campbell just caught out of position.
So 1 point in it again. Gallagher sets himself for the ruck work against Stynes. Neither takes it. Was Dyson down to Viney. Viney goes steaming towards the 50-metre line. Gets away from Larkin, goes up towards full forward. And once again, Cuthbertson is there to take the mark.
Well, that's a great mark too, Sandy. A strong mark in front. He's a good mover, this boy.
He's already kicked one.
He's kicked one, but he moves around a lot on that forward line. Gives himself a chance. Chandler, no chance there from behind.
Well, he looks a pretty fit young man. He shoots towards goal and kicks his second. So again, it's goal for goal here at the MCG. Melbourne are 4-1, North Melbourne 3 straight.
Yes, well, we are seeing a top game, Sandy. Tremendous day for football. 24 degrees. A good tap out there from Dyson when the bounce didn't favour either of the ruckmen. And Viney, who's having an excellent year. And good to see an injury-free Todd Viney getting the ball quickly down in that forward line, and Cuthbertson playing very well, kicking his second goal.
Melbourne lead by 7 points halfway through the first quarter. Stynes gets the tap out. Comes back to Jimmy Stynes. Geez, a great player, Jay Stynes. Kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Good gather there by Chandler, and his kick is not bad across his body. North have got the numbers on centre wing. Rock goes back to Schwass. A little bit of good fortune for North Melbourne because it came back to Rock, and Rock's kick is a beauty. Good vision.
Clever play there by Schwass, though. He knew he was under the hammer.
And the mark has been taken by McCarthy, maybe a little too far out to score. He's going to have a long ping at them.
He can kick the ball long distances, McCarthy, so he fancies himself here.
No, he's going in short. Leaders on. Longmire can't mark. Glenn Lovett, who's been a good player for Melbourne. Kick to the vacant wing. McCarthy again was going to do something really before he had it. Kick off the ground by German. Opportunity for McRae. He's got the football, he's pushed in the back, surely. And he's been penalised for holding the footy.
No, I think he took a dive, Robbo. I'm sure he took a dive when he saw the boundary line.
Spalding has the footy, half-back flank. Kicking towards half-forward, no mark taken. At the bottom there was Rock. Oh, tackled hard was German. Gets the hand pass away. Spalding over the top. Opportunity for Dyson. Gives the handball to Stynes. Great play, Stynes. Pass to Owen. Owen goes bang with a long bomb. There's another goal to Melbourne. Great kick, Rodney Owen. Rod Owen gets his first. Melbourne get their fifth. And the Demons are 13 points in front.
Well, brilliant team football there by the Demons. Jimmy Stynes, great vision. He didn't blaze away into that forward line. Here's Jimmy, just chipped the pass over to Rod Owen, and Rod had plenty of time. Beautiful kick from just inside the 50-metre line and sailed right through the middle.
Very good start by Jim Stynes for Melbourne, and he thumps it out once again. Larkin tries to repel the attack, does so with a hand pass to Spargo. Paul Spargo goes in towards Longmire. He'll be kicking from 45 metres.
Well, that's a classic lead from a full forward there from Johnny Longmire. Febey just a little bit late on the scene.
This for his second, and this to cut the margin to 7 points. Good looking drop punt. The umpire does not move. 2 goals to John Longmire, and back come the Roos.
Yes, Johnny Longmire's had a slow start to the season. A few injuries, a back problem that's given him hamstring aches and pains as well. So he's very important to North Melbourne. Beautiful pass there by Spargo. And Johnny Longmire from about 40 metres out. A magnificent kick on the angle.
There's John Longmire, the North Melbourne full forward. He's kicked 2. Bennett at the other end has kicked 1. Rock's tackle is not bad on Beveridge, and the umpire gives the Melbourne player the benefit of the doubt and will bounce. Now Luke Beveridge doing very well early in season 1991. Obviously the experience is holding him in good stead. He gets another kick here towards centre half forward. Owen can't mark. Ball comes to the rear. Viney tries a kick off the ground. Play Brayshaw. Attempted kick off the ground by Owen. Still a struggle. Dyson's in there. Gallagher comes in. Now an opportunity for Lovell. He's still got the football. No, he hasn't. Gallagher tries to bounce it to himself. Gallagher, not Gallagher, German rather. Stynes, handball back. Brett Lovett, defensive side of centre. Left foot kick is the first bit of constructive play. At centre half forward, Owen with strength. Spalding over the top. Opportunity there for Clark. He's well caught. Still has the football. Kick off the ground by Glenn Lovett. Goal to Jackson. Boy, was that quick. The football was red hot. The players were desperate, but Melbourne's constructive ability to get it into the clear to Ricky Jackson, who got their 6th goal.
Well, it is real pressure stuff at the moment. Players are prepared to do the running and doing the hard things. Clark, the top tackle there applied by McRae, and finally spilling out to Ricky Jackson.
37 plays 24 in an entertaining first quarter. Larkin gives it to Spargo for North Melbourne. Up to Longmire again and again. Great passage of play by the Northerners.
Another magnificent pass there by Spargo.
Now he's 50 metres out, wants to go on with it, and is heading for home with a long drop punt. Right into the square it goes, over the back and one behind.
And North Melbourne have made a change, which obviously could be a plan. Michael Gallagher has gone off the ground and replaced by Darren Harris, obviously to give the big man a bit of a rest before quarter time.
Yep. Also Jimmy Stynes dominating the ruck at this stage for Melbourne.
It's Grenter who brings it back into play, kicks towards Jim Stynes, couldn't take it. A couple of North Melbourne players there, taken by Staritsky, gives it away to Larkin. He's looking to find form, Matthew Larkin, but a fine smother, only to see Larkin recover, pick it up once more and kick a wonderful goal. Great play, Matthew Larkin.
Oh, this is unbelievable, isn't it?
Tremendous football. North a 5-1, trailing Melbourne 6-1.
Well, it's been a great quarter of football, hasn't it? 11 goals kicked already, 6 to Melbourne, 5 to North Melbourne. But ideal conditions, as we said, here at the MCG. Larkin a little bit lucky to get that ball bouncing back to him. But when it did, he made the most of his opportunity, and a great kick for goal.
Now Harris is doing the ruck work for North Melbourne. The ball's still in the centre. Staritsky can't get out. Ball goes back towards McRae. With desperation, he's held when he didn't have it. No free kick. He goes after it again, McRae. But chipping in is Jackson. Adds a bit of pace, a bit of flair. Owen shoots for goal from 40 metres out and pops it through for another Melbourne goal. So Rod Owen gets his second. It's raining goals. Absolutely at the MCG. 7-1 to 5-1 Melbourne lead.
Oh, it certainly is, Robbo. It's been a magnificent exhibition of football by both sides. At the moment, Melbourne winning the ball out of the centre on that occasion. Finishing off with Owen, who's kicked over 100 goals in his AFL career. A very talented player.
So Harris in that centre bounce to try and nullify a bit of the Jay Stynes influence on the game. Battle, Dyson gets the ball clear for Melbourne. He's a tough nut, getting a few close possessions. The punch over the top. North Melbourne defence under pressure. Through comes Smith. Brayshaw under pressure. Flips it out the back. Martin a good bump, but doesn't stand up. Kick off the ground by Smith close to the boundary line, and it goes over for a throw-in the left forward pocket for Melbourne, and the Demon fans are pretty excited about this opening.
Throw in, Melbourne in attack. Bennett over the back, but straight to Peter German. Could have afforded himself a bounce, but decided to take the kick. Up towards centre wing. Clark with a fist over the top, but straight to Schwass. Then Clark gets him. Good tackle. Rock under pressure. He was tripped, said the umpire.
It was great play by Clark there, firstly knocking the ball on, and what a tackle he applied on Schwass.
So Rock to take it at centre wing. We've seen 12 goals kicked so far in this term. It's a short kick. Waiting down is Beveridge. Booted 1 goal. High ball. Lovett claim. Goes to ground. Fairley had him fair and square. Owen, a clever tap out to Viney. Across to Spalding. From 55 metres, a long drop punt in towards the pocket. And it eventually drifts over the line for a throw-in. In Melbourne's left forward pocket, Michael Martin. His parents are here today watching. Will be keen to impress. Martin and Bennett will contest the throw-in. Bennett just trying to flick over the back. A short kick goes back towards the boundary line once again. Jackson runs out of room. Jeff Chandler right on his hammer. Still in Melbourne's pocket. Bennett and Martin once more. McRae in trouble, loses it. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Brayshaw and Owen. Owen tries a little toe poke up. Jackson farming it wide. Beveridge couldn't take it at the first attempt. He does it the second, and he's kicked another goal. Luke Beveridge has kicked 2, and Melbourne have kicked 8-1 to North Melbourne's 5-1.
Well, it's been a wonderful exhibition of football from both sides. Beveridge, who is a very gutsy little rover for Melbourne. I was impressed with him last season. Hasn't played many games, Luke Beveridge, but look at that. Very clever to get up there and snap that kick for goal on his right boot.
Melbourne lead by 3 goals with just 8 minutes left. Stynes is doing well in the ruck. Schwass, a lovely kick from near the centre. Up towards full forward, nearly a mark to McCarthy. Where are the crumb gatherers for North? Clark's there, but chipping in is Carey. Shot for goal. It's another goal, this time to North Melbourne. Well, it really is incredible that 2 teams, one can kick 8, the other can kick 6. Where are the defenders, Bernie?
Well, I don't know. I think the game's just been going at such a pace. I don't think you could really blame the defenders. Carey, who's been very quiet, just chipping in there. Bad luck for the Melbourne defenders. They worked very hard to get the ball out there, but just spilled out to Carey.
Okay, does it mean that there is even more importance on the centre bounce? The teams that are breaking away seem to be kicking the goals.
Oh, yes. Look, with Jimmy Stynes in the middle there, taking the bounce again against Harris. A bad bounce on that occasion, but North Melbourne with a chance this time.
Larkin, left foot kick by Larkin, up towards full forward. Oh, that's a North mark, I think. In the middle of the pack is it Longmire? No, it's not. It is Sean Smith. And what a good grab that was in a group of 4 players. Longmire, 5 players in that, and it really was a good grab.
Play. I didn't see how it started, Ian. But,
well, I'm not sure what happened either, Sandy. I didn't think there was any problems there. It didn't seem to be much of a lead up to that.
Well, Sean Smith is going on with it. He's shooting from only 30 metres out directly in front. And you wouldn't believe it. Yes, it is another goal. This time North Melbourne get their 7th. So it's a goal of difference, and 15 goals have been kicked in this first quarter.
And how's that for accuracy also? Only 2 behinds. Really, if you wanted to advertise this game of Aussie rules, you'd show this game because it's been a magnificent quarter of football. Sean Smith, a great mark for a player of his height. And not a bad kick for goal either from about 45 metres.
Back in the middle once more. 6 points the margin. 6.5 minutes remaining. Stynes a big jump at Harris. Taken for Melbourne by Dyson. Kevin Dyson's kick down towards the half-forward line. No mark. It could have been a mark. It could prove expensive. Although Martin has followed the ball down towards the line. Doesn't try and take it over. Wanted to get it back to Fairley. He loses out. Bennett, an extraordinary kick over his shoulder, but it goes straight to Dean McRae. McRae to the outer wing. Harris late. Stynes is at the back, but he hasn't got the pace. Now North Melbourne can open up another opportunity as they charge down towards the forward line. Into the pocket. No mark taken. Campbell towards the line. He needs help and gets it through Viney. Now Lovell. And they're out of trouble. Stretch across the centre of the ground. He goes to Spalding. Number of options here. Chooses Lovell. Puts Melbourne inside 50. Bennett caught out in front. And a good mark taken by Ross Smith.
Off he goes to Martin. Martin's kick is wide. There's 2-on-1. Spargo's out there to back his teammate up. And his kick up towards half forward. And a good mark taken out there by Carey. Carey wide of centre half forward. Kicks it between centre half forward and full forward. No mark taken. Crumb gatherer needed. McCarthy, Rock, Viney. In comes Larkin. Very, very composed Matthew Larkin. German. He's kicked the North goal again. 8 goals, 1 apiece. German kicks his first and scores level with 5 minutes left in this first quarter. What a fantastic 25 minutes of football.
Well, that sign said it all, didn't it, Robbo? Champagne football, and it has been. Matty Larkin hand passing there to German. Both sides very committed. Very important match for both these sides, and it's really showing out there on the field.
Back in the middle once more. Harris wanting to flick it with the left hand, couldn't take it. Dyson again for Melbourne, wins it out of the middle. The bouncing ball eludes them all. Bennett a tap over the back, but the only one there is Brayshaw, and he steadies things down for the Northerners. Heading towards the outer boundary line, Craig Scholl sees it over. So a throw-in on the far side. 16 goals, 2 so far has been scored in the quarter. A sight rarely seen nowadays. From the throw-in, German, who scored the last goal, is able to get it away to Fairley. He stabs into Spargo almost in the middle. Wants to go on with it quickly. Does so. Back to Fairley. It wandered down the ground. Up towards the half-forward line. Longmire chose not to fly on that occasion, waited down. And a defensive kick goes towards the boundary line and eventually goes over at centre wing. Came from Lovell. And so we'll have another throw in. Glenn Lovell. Glenn and Brett out on the ground for Melbourne. Stynes and Harris to contest the ruck work. Again, Harris misses at the first attempt, but gets a high spiralling kick. Grinter charges at it, but gets a very bad bounce. An unfortunate one. Stretch could have been held. The umpire says no. McCarthy's hand pass is loose, and now Grinter will get Melbourne out of trouble. One down the ground. No, not to be. Grinter's kick goes over the line.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, Sandy.
I think so. No, he certainly wasn't carrying on about it, though.
No, he gives them and takes them. He's pretty good like that. Stynes, Harris, look at the jostling for position. Harris a little stronger than Michael Gallagher. Kick off the ground by Schwass. Gathers about 25 metres close to the line. It's eventually taken over there by Justin Staritsky. And there's Wayne Schimmelbusch with his offsiders. That's John Dugdale in the middle and Laurie Dwyer. And Laurie Dwyer, of course, has got 2 sons who have played senior football with North Melbourne. Kick off the ground, or attempted by Stynes. Spargo around the neck against Lovell. Little fortunate.
Well, did he duck his head? That's a question that has to be asked. I think that, no, I would have paid that free.
Spargo forward of centre wing. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Marking contest, and it's a good one taken by Scholl. And it's a bit of a bonus, Craig Scholl. He's about 6'1", quite athletic, and looks as though he's playing on that outer wing.
He's playing on Stephen stretch, 186 centimetres shoal, 184 stretch.
Good strong kick too. Magnificent kick, North in front.
Well, he's been a find on that wing, Craig Scholl, one of North's better players against the West Coast Eagles, and Spargo, who's been very good in the middle of the ground, playing in the centre. There's that mark over stretch by Scholl, and from 45 metres out, amazing accuracy by both sides in this first term.
Eight players have kicked North Melbourne's 9 goals. An extraordinary quarter of football. Grinter sends Melbourne down towards Spalding at half forward. Good mark to Fairley. Wide to the wing. Scholl, fresh from his goal. Slips but manages to get it across to Spargo, who drifts it in towards half forward. Poorly directed kick on that occasion, and Brett Lovett takes an uncontested mark. Thought about the kick, now gets it out wide to Peter Road, who does go wide, up towards half forward. And the mark taken by Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson has kicked a couple of goals and looked pretty dangerous up forward. Owen a little too far underneath it. Michael Martin at the back. Oh, Owen went over the top of Brayshaw and the ball went over the line.
It's had a free kick, Sandy, to Owen.
Shepherding out.
What? Oh,
amazing.
It's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. Unbelievable, that decision.
Dear.
Well, he's got the football, and that's the bottom line. And he's going to go short. Febey drifts into the hole. And Stephen Febey will be kicking from 46 to 47 metres.
Poor checking there by the Kangaroos to let him drift in there, no pressure.
This to level the scores. Drop punts on its way. The kicking for goal has been extraordinary. 18 goals for the quarter and only 2 behind.
Well, that's for sure, Sandy. It has been extraordinary, amazing. Well, here's what the free kick is all about, and I still can't work out what it was. I think it must have been a shepherding decision by the umpire. But I think when Owen was having that almighty leap at it, Robbo, that the North Melbourne player had to take some evasive action.
Centre-bouts once more. This time it's won by Harris. A chance for North Melbourne. McCarthy, however, can't pick it up. Beautifully stolen by Grinter, who drifted out towards Viney at the wing. But there's the siren. And what a first quarter here at the MCG. Dead level. Melbourne and North Melbourne 9-1, 55 apiece. Into the second term here at the MCG. Scores are level. Stynes tries to flick it back. Can't do so. Dyson got a hurried kick. He continually won it out of the centre in the first term for Melbourne. Spalding gets it on towards Jackson. Spalding follows play down and cop one high. Play goes on. Lovell floating it in towards full forward, but it is taken over the line by Smith for one behind. And so a rare blemish. 9-2. Plays at 9-1.
And their 2 behinds have both been rushed.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Bit of trivia for the afternoon so far.
Thank you.
Michael Martin, geez, padded up around the thighs. There's quite a few players, actually. Paul Spargo, Paul Bryce on the interchange bench for Melbourne has got those bandages. There's a great mark taken by Brett Lovett. Just holding up there in the air, kick towards full forward. Good mark taken by Bennett.
Well, it was a good lead and a perfectly placed pass by Brett Lovett. After taking that very good mark, position it right on the fast lead from Darren Bennett, and he shouldn't have any problems making the distance. Prolific kick of the football.
Bread and butter stuff for Darren Bennett, these long kicks. Oh dear, I'd like to be tipping winners at the races. Darren Bennett gets his second, and it's another 50-metre plus kick for his second goal. 10-2 to 9-1.
Let's have a look at that pass again from Lovett. And Darren Bennett on that long lead. And not a problem with Darren Bennett from 50 metres as we have a look at him running in. A very good kicking action. That's that right leg right up above his shoulder. Beautiful follow through.
Centre bounce once more, won by Stynes, but taken by Larkin. A hurried kick down towards North's half-forward line, looking for Carey. Through he goes, but he's well claimed by Brett Lovett. The ball spills free. Grinter leaves it for Rowe. He's taken out of it. Stynes gives him support. Dyson wide to Grinter, and Melbourne run it out of the back pocket region down towards half-back where Lovett, Glenn, takes the mark. Owen, a little nudge perhaps. He's off, and then pushed in the back. Well, he slipped as he was away. The advantage is now paid. Melbourne in control to half-forward. Out comes Bennett once more. Got a hand to it, but couldn't complete the mark. Rock spins out of trouble beautifully. Now North's turn to go up towards the half-forward line, and Carey marks on the chest in front. Plays on to Larkin. Matty Larkin's kick is not a good one. It wobbles in towards the half-forward region. Clark having trouble picking it up. Eventually taken out of it, but Melbourne has the numbers. Grinter gets it away to Rowe, and they're out of trouble through Clark. Or are they? Stretch close to the boundary line. No one to kick to, and Scholl marks at centre wing. Scholl in towards half-forward. Stynes late on the scene, and a good mark. It's going to be paid to Harris. He stood his ground. Jimmy Stynes came in late, and Harris will take it. He's got a number of players. Staritsky calling for it down in the pocket, but he's going to go back. And I have seen him kick a ball a very long distance.
Yes, he is a very good kick of the ball.
You're going to have to kick it 60 here. He gets underneath a drop punt, slews off the side of the boot, goes into the pocket, and Lovett sees it over the line.
After we said that, Sandy, it's probably the worst kick we've seen for the day.
Always happens though, Bernie. You give them a rap, and what do? They let you down.
Just stick with Darren Bennett, Sandy. I reckon he's not a bad bloke to be on when he's kicking for goal. 10-2 to 9-1, Melbourne lead. Ruckman jostling. Todd Viney gets it at the back, gives it away to Stynes. Stynes' kick is a little ordinary. Scholl, German over the top. Again, a punch on by Harris. It's in front of the North Melbourne goal. Carey may goal. No, he doesn't. And the quick kick goes through for a North Melbourne behind. So Wayne Carey has kicked 1-1. And North have kicked 9-2. 10-2 to 9-2. Melbourne by 6 points as Tony Campbell kicks the ball back into play. Pretty well straight up the ground here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The kick is in short, but it's a free kick, and it's going to Jimmy Stynes, but the advantage rule will be paid. Todd Viney bounced, left it behind, then the kick in short, close to the boundary line. Opportunity for Anthony Lovell. Hand pass over the top. Goes to Brett Lovett, back to Lovell. Lovell's kick to full forward. Big punch there by Ross Smith. Goes back to half forward. Dyson. He's a strong player, Dyson. Left foot kick. He's hooked it too far, has he? Yes, he has. Oh, bad luck by Kevin Dyson there, because it was excellent football. And I think he would have brought all of the Melbourne fans to their feet if that had been a goal.
He looks all right, Dyson, doesn't he? He had a stint at Fitzroy and also at Carlton before ending up with Melbourne, but very strong in the upper body.
Some shocking kicking for goal, though. We've seen, what, 4 behinds? Smith brings the ball back into play. Dyson in front. Got one for his trouble, but not the ball. Rock pulled off it, loses it. German engineers the start out of the middle to Schwass. Out comes Longmire. Campbell with him. Longmire still going, and he gets clear, John Longmire. Well done. From 50 metres, he kicks in towards goal, but he's off target, another behind. We're not going to see 18 behinds this quarter after 18 goals.
Well, it had to happen, Sandy, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the goal kick in the first quarter was just impeccable.
10-3 to 9-3. Lovett at centre half back. Wide to the wing, Spalding the target. Got a hand to it, couldn't complete it. Viney scouting. A hurried kick. Clean bowls. Rod Owen. Brayshaw. Claimed by Lovett. Beautiful tackle. Larkin goes inside and trouble because Spalding has it. Shrugs the tackle, but it's a poor kick. A high one. But a great mark by Bennett.
Yes, he just jumped that little bit early, Darren Bennett.
Plays on quickly. Loose players. And Dyson, who missed one on the run only minutes ago, will have another shot.
He's Bennett again as we have a look at that. Just jumped that little bit early and was able to get Michael Martin out of the contest.
Kevin Dyson hasn't goaled to date. Although 6 of his teammates have. From 40 metres, almost directly in front. Well, that's a disappointing kick. One behind. 10-4. Melbourne, North Melbourne, a 9-3.
And interestingly there, John Northey wearing headphones with a microphone in front, as distinct from the telephone.
Must be listening to us, Robbo, do you think? For some coaching moves.
Kick in by Ross Smith, falls in short. No mark taken. Ball goes back towards centre half back. Fairly cleans up. Long hand pass finds Larkin. Larkin's run down by Viney, who forces the poor hand pass. Back it goes into Melbourne's half forward zone. Dyson spinning around, kicks it in towards centre half forward. Bennett nearly marks. Spalding picks up the crumbs. Shoots for goal as Earl Spalding. And, well, I won't be too critical. That was a shot under a little bit of pressure there by Big Earl. And with 18 minutes left, 18 and a half minutes left, Melbourne have got their fifth behind. 10-5 plays 9-3, Demons by 8 points.
Melbourne have done a lot of the attacking in this term but haven't been able to finish it off. Viney trying to flick it out, does so to Stynes. Short little chip, but coming out to take the defensive mark is Ross Smith. Smith virtually in the back pocket. Guides it up towards the half-back flank. Staritsky is down there. Plays on very quickly. Oh, puts Chandler under the hammer a bit, but a good smother. And the ball taken over the line. So Melbourne may be encouraged by perhaps a little bit of return to form of Brett Lovett.
Just a little bit too predictable, that passage of play. First hand pass looked all right, and then the second one, Brett Lovett read it pretty well. German gets his foot to the ball, goes to a vacant wing position. Stynes, look at his agility. Jimmy Stynes, round to the right foot like a ruck rover, not a 6'7" ruckman. In towards forward, half forward area. Brett Lovett caught with the ball, could be penalised. Yes, he is. Advantage will be paid. No, it won't. You must go back and kick over the man on the mark. So the free kick will go back there to Dean McRae. McRae for North Melbourne. Kicks it wide, out towards half forward. And a great mark on the chest to Carey, keeping his opponent away from the football by just putting out that posterior. The kick in towards full forward, no mark taken. Good crumb gathering there by Rock. Kick by Rock is out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Melbourne. And that really was a poor kick. Maybe he was under a little bit of pressure there, Anthony Rock, but I'm sure Wayne Schimmelbusch would have been looking for a little bit more.
Looks like Stretch might be playing in the back pocket, Robbo. Playing on Sean Smith.
Yes, he brings the ball back into play, drifting it down towards the half-back line. North have the run. Lovett unable to affect the smother. Spargo leaves it for his teammate. Craig Scholl will have a shot from 40 metres. He stabs, but pushes it away to the right. Craig Scholl has kicked 1 goal, 1 of North's 9 goals, 4. They're down by 7 points at the moment. Stynes lumbers towards it. Almost runs out of room, but then swings round onto his left foot. Viney, charging to meet him, was Fairley, and it's the latter who came off the batter. He follows it down Fairley. He's got it forward of centre. Kicks with a drop punt up towards full forward. Where are North's big guns? No mark taken. Clark tries to storm through. He's still going, Clark. Larkin takes him out of it. Road is there for Melbourne. Can't pick it up cleanly. Neither can Stynes. And eventually the umpire comes in and decides to take control.
Maybe the tackling, the tightness, just improving a little bit in this quarter, Bernie?
Well, I think the tackling was pretty good in that first term, Robbo, but maybe they're just slowing down that fraction, the players in this term. Very warm conditions.
Ball comes back towards Dyson. He can't control it. Neither can McRae. Dyson's kick off the ground. Goes towards half forward for Melbourne. Fairly lumbering after it. Taps it towards the boundary line. And it goes over. I'm sure the Melbourne fans appreciating there. Kevin Dyson, very tough nut. And looks as though he could play quite a few games for the Demons. Spalding doing the ruck work. Fairly in front, but Spalding just taps McRae out of it. And McRae takes a free kick.
Gallagher back on the ground. Robbo, who's replaced Harris, so they're changing the ruckman off the interchange, which will make it tough for Jimmy Stynes.
Oh, poor kick by McCarthy. Nearly an excellent grab by Febey. Brett Lovett goes in towards the centre. Dyson, again with strength. Stynes, a kick across half forward. Punch away there by McRae. Good play on Todd Viney, and he'll allow it to run over. And we'll have another boundary throw in on the outer side, between wing and half forward, just slightly favouring Melbourne.
We've seen 1 goal 7 scored so far in this term, in stark contrast to the first. An illegal legging. We'll see Glenn Lovett send Melbourne forward once more. In towards Bennett. Oh, he got up high. He left a player at the back, however. That's going to be another one to Melbourne. Cuthbertson has kicked number 3.
There's the 2 North Melbourne players up there in defence. And that left the Melbourne player down on the ground. There's a free kick from Lovett into that forward line. And Cuthbertson roving perfectly at the back of the pack, kicking his 3rd goal. So he's been very good, Darren Cuthbertson, up in that forward line.
Well, it's taken a little bit of time for Melbourne to add to their goal score. They kicked their 10th goal early in this second term. Now they've got their 11th. They lead by 13 points. Stynes gets them up towards half forward. Good play by Spargo. Very direct football by Paul Spargo, but the kick is in short. And a courageous mark and a well-judged mark to Brett Lovett, and boy, is he a confidence player. He gets it away to Grinter. Grinter in turn goes to Stynes. Stynes is at half-back. Brett Lovett's got a chance of getting it again. He's hemmed in at half-back. Gives away the hand pass to Grinter. Oh, he could be under pressure. No, he gets the left foot away, and in the finish it breaks down because just a fraction of a second too long, the forwards were covered. The ball at centre-half forward now for Melbourne. Comes back towards the wing. Courage needed. Larkin, and the Melbourne player was Jackson. Melbourne going towards half forward. Owen punches it back towards centre half forward. That was a little bit of Leary play, but it comes off because Todd Viney will shoot for goal, and Melbourne get their 12th. Good strong play there by a couple of robust players, and Melbourne through Todd Viney get to a 19-point advantage.
Yes, well played by the Demons. Here's Rod Owen. He knew he was about to be tackled. Went to tap the ball on, and Todd Viney, big and strong, as Robbo mentioned, very robust player, able to break those tackles, and a good goal on the right foot.
Todd Viney, 1 goal. Melbourne 12-5, North 9-4.
This is the biggest lead Melbourne has had, 19 points. Dyson claimed in the middle, but he's quick to apply the tackle, Kevin Dyson. Larkin trying to farm out to Fairley. Wider to Schwatt, now to Spargo. The right foot high kick going up towards the right half forward flank, and a fine mark taken by Sean Smith. Second good grab he's taken today. Smith centering to half forward. Out comes Longmire, almost pushed underneath the ball, and Lovett, under no pressure, is able to clear. A little too far for Todd Viney, but he's got support at the back. Melbourne are starting to run. Ricky Jackson loves a bounce, brings it back beautifully for Bennett. No mark taken. Play on. Martin across to Spargo. Now Matthew Larkin in the centre. North a chance to go forward. Long and low. Beautiful kick up towards the half forward line. Longmire couldn't take it. Campbell swings it wide towards the wing. North Melbourne realising they're in trouble. Really throwing everything at Melbourne at the moment.
Yes, well, that kick from Ricky Jackson at the other end of the ground, almost costly because it was moved right down to the North Melbourne attack. Longmire just couldn't hold the ball.
Well, the full forward really should have taken it.
Might be a bit tough with that sun too, Robbo, today. The position of the sun,
maybe,
looking
yeah,
straight into that.
Never took that into account, Bernie. You're right there. It's a very, very bright, sunny day. And Johnny Longmire just missing that one. Larkin still has the football and eventually will receive a free kick. Well, he's a ball player, and he's a fraction slow these days, but he got the free kick up towards half forward. Carey can't mark. Smith there for North Melbourne. Handball back. Carey, sweeping hand pass. Smith leaves it behind. Rock, handball wide to Clark. Spargo, Smith, chipping in for Melbourne. There was Cuthbertson. Still very, very hard to control the football. Now Scholl, left foot kick is good. The mark has been taken by McCarthy. So North Melbourne will get a chance to kick their first goal in this second term. They went in at quarter time 9-1 apiece. There's Ricky Jackson in the hands of the trainers back in the Melbourne forward pocket.
Scholl and Febey having a little bit of a how do you do.
McCarthy. Oh, what a beautiful kick by John McCarthy. It's a goal to North. So John McCarthy gets his first goal. And 9 North players have kicked their 10 goals as the boys...
A little bit going on there, Robbo. The emergency
come in now.
The emergency umpire's right there, so they don't want to do anything foolish because they're sure to go into the book. But it started with Scholl and Febey.
From the centre, Glenn Lovett takes it with a sweeping hand pass. He was looking for Stynes, but McRae intercepts. North go down towards Longmire again.
Maybe a little bit too far out here, Sandy, from 55 metres.
He goes for it, a long kick, and going for the distance. He makes it all right, but he's off target away to the right. John Longmire has booted 2 goals, 2 out of North's tally of 10-5. Stretch on the half-back flank. Wide to the wing, maybe a little too wide for Jackson. With him is Chandler. It's gone over. So a throw in on the wing. Stynes and Gallagher. Gallagher spelling with Harris. Fairly. Just gets his kick in time. But it goes straight to Luke Beveridge. Beveridge kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Centering kick, or 2 North Melbourne players collided.
Pushing the back.
Brayshaw got pushed.
Yes, by
literally into McRae.
Well, that's undisciplined stuff, Bernie, really, isn't it?
Well, caught behind, and it was obvious he was going to give away the free kick.
Well, I just say that because there's only one doubt about Rod Owen. He's got plenty of football ability, but he just has to discipline himself a little bit more. The kick by Melbourne goes wide to half forward. Nearly a mark out there to Todd Viney. Jostling with Dean McRae. Good play. There's an indication of the ability of Rod Owen. A wonderful one-handed pickup, and he gets the hand pass away to Viney. Viney close to the boundary line. Left foot kick by that player into the pocket, and it's out on the full, way back only 15 metres in advance from where he kicked it. So the ball will go back there to Jeff Chandler. Chandler looking for another metre or so advantage, but he's going to be forced to kick now. Drop punt back towards the wing position. No mark, punched away by Spalding, and we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward in Melbourne's scoring zone. 12-5 to 10-5. We've got 8 minutes left in this second term. Gallagher gets it down to Schwass. Spalding, Owen, sweeping hand pass to no one in particular. Good gather by Chandler. Kick back towards the centre, and a good mark taken there by Dyson. And he's played pretty well, Kevin Dyson. This is his 14th possession in not quite half a game of football.
And he kicks long and high up towards the forward line. Who's going past? Todd Viney was there. Oh, it's another one. What a kick by Beveridge. He's kicked 3. And Melbourne moved to 13-5. 18-point leaders over North, who are 10-5.
As for Melbourne, just with the advantage at the moment, Kevin Dyson, an excellent game playing in the centre of the ground. A long kick into that forward line. Beveridge, the player who flew and then backed it up on the ground. A very clever player is Luke Beveridge, and plenty of guts and determination to go with it.
18 points the margin, favouring Melbourne. Dyson tried to go forward again, but he was taken out of it. Gallagher gets a quick kick towards Carey. Going to get a free kick for being held.
Bit lucky there, Sandy. Bit lucky.
Wants to go long. Makes his intentions very clear and does so. Grinter in from the side with a left fist. Hammers it towards the line. Storitsky could be first there, but he's under plenty of pressure and is forced over.
Gee, 3 Melbourne players getting back on John Longmire there. Where are the other North Melbourne players? Not reading that punch away. Gallagher in front of Spalding, gets the tap out, collected well by Lovell, goes to Grinter. Grinter's kick is long, out wide towards the wing. Todd Viney tries to take the football with him. Owen, left foot kick off the ground. He still has the football, and somehow he gets the handball back to Viney. Oh, good play by Anthony Rock. Tap to his advantage is Larkin. Gathered by German. Sweeping hand pass, Spargo. North should get a goal. Spargo's kick into the pocket. And no mark taken by McCarthy. Cleared by Grinter. Left foot kick goes close to the line. Coming out is Road. Schwass is there, but the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. And Melbourne defence just working a little bit better in this quarter than North Melbourne's.
Very well done there, Rodney Grinter. He spotted the danger. It was his man. He'd given him a bit of room, but really made up some metres to get that punch away.
Schwass goes to half forward. Staritsky, the bounces favours that player. Goes in towards German. German will shoot from deep in the pocket. It's another goal. My golly. German gets his second goal, and the 24th goal is put on the scoreboard. Melbourne 13-5, North 11-5.
Well, it's being played at an amazing pace, this game. Both sides very committed. A slow start to the season by North Melbourne, only winning 1 out of their first 3 games. And Peter German, a very good player, finishing that one off with a very clever kick from the forward pocket.
He's had 14 possessions, Peter German, and kicked 2 goals. Chance for Febey. Brilliant tackle by Sean Smith.
Has to be holding the ball. He had a chance. He jumped into the tackle. Good decision by the umpire.
Okay, Sean Smith from just forward of the centre circle. Kicks into the pocket. Coming out on a lead and a good mark in the finish. It looked elementary, but boy, he was put under some pressure in the finish, John McCarthy. And Peter Road just coming away from that incident, holding his elbow or forearm.
Yes, he was under a bit of pressure there, McCarthy, in the end.
And really should capitalise now, Bernie, shouldn't he? From this distance, these key forwards have to kick goals.
Well, he is a very good kick for goal, as we mentioned, Robbo. And from about 45 metres out, no problem with the distance.
John McCarthy has kicked one. Oh, shocking kick off the side of his boot. Smith pushing the back, yeah.
Well, just getting back to that kick from McCarthy was a terrible approach, wasn't it? It looked very, very casual.
Free kick to Stretch in the back pocket.
And he kicks long towards Stynes. Little too far underneath the football. Spalding. Viney. Now Todd Viney can have a run here. Could have easily had another bounce and gone almost to the 50-metre line. But no need. Good mark. Taken by Rocket Owen.
Yes, well, they got the ball quickly down into that forward line. And Rod Owen falling back. And Brayshaw giving her a little bit of a hurry up after he'd taken the mark.
Owen going for number 3. From 40 metres, straight through the middle. 3 goals to Rod Owen. He kicked 2 in the first term, and again, Melbourne open up that 3-goal break.
And Rod Owen has a very good kicking action, that goal. Keeps his head right over the ball. Not much margin for error, but he keeps the ball close to the boot as he delivers the ball. An excellent kicking action at goal, and a very good pick-up by Melbourne, a former St Kilda player.
So under 4 minutes left, Melbourne lead by 3 goals. Harris in the ruck. Ball comes towards Febey. Larkin tries to gather. Kick off the ground by Stynes. Doesn't mess around, but Schwass chipping in. Kicks towards half forward. Oh, he should have taken that, Staritsky. Maybe just took his eyes off the football. Now Campbell. German in a little late. Viney out there. So is Jackson. No mark taken. Jackson recovers well. Gets the handball away. Comes in towards the centre. Kick by Rock. In towards centre half forward. Carey punched away there by Road. Ball rebounds to Longmire. Tries to get the handball away to Spargo. Unselfishly, Spargo goes to German, and German kicks his 3rd goal. It's goal for goal at the MCG. Melbourne have got a slight advantage of 12 points, 89-77.
Which is nothing the way the game is being played here. The pace of the game, the ball out of the centre, it's been moved from one end of the ground to the other. You really cannot blame the defenders for the high scoring of this match. 26 goals kicked already.
Back in the centre once again. Keogh has come onto the ground. Lovell off for Melbourne. The Demons leading by 2 straight kicks at the moment. North unable to make it up. That kick is going to go out of bounds on the floor. It was not a good one.
That kick coming from Dean McRae. He had a fair amount of time there to get rid of that one too, Robbo.
He looked a little slow, Bernie, in the finish, didn't he? Couldn't break away from the Melbourne player to kick it.
Febey towards centre wing. Fairly up a little early. Owen gets it out nicely to Dyson. Kevin Dyson. Usually a good kick. Bennett, was he pushed? The umpire said no. Keogh has just come onto the ground and he has it stolen by Chandler. Pushed out wide. Now Larkin giving chase on the outer wing. With him is Brett Lovett. Larkin's got 5 metres on him, but the bouncing ball has too much and runs over the line. And the Melbourne fans are not happy.
Well, he could have nearly got a free kick, couldn't he, I think?
Darren Bennett looked like there was a push out there.
Throw in on the outer side, and again, Matthew Larkin sees it over the line.
I think what the forwards are looking for, Bernie, is just interference. If the defenders are interfering with the forward when he's nowhere near the footy.
Well, I'll tell you what, these days, for a forward to be paid a free kick, it must be a very obvious infringement by the defender, because the umpires do not give many free kicks in front of goal.
Lovett gets a short kick. Ross Smith overruns it. Nicely picked up by Spargo, but Eagler is well smothered. Pushed in towards the half forward region. Melbourne have the numbers. Spalding gives the hand pass away on the outer side from 50 metres. Keogh's just come onto the ground and his kicking lets him down. One behind.
Nephew of one of my ex-teammates, Trevor Keogh at Carlton, is Rodney Keogh.
Going right through the old Carlton lineup today.
A bit of a nostalgia day, isn't it, Sandy, today?
I also played with the uncle of Spargo, Ricky Spargo.
Gee, you're dating yourself now.
Paul Spargo's uncle played at Footscray.
One of the first real nightclubbers, Rick Spargo. There's the mark taken by Jimmy Stynes. He plays on quickly. He spots Stretch. Out in the open is Stephen Stretch. 25 metres on his own. And he thumps a lovely long drop punt in towards goal, but he's offline. And it's a behind to Melbourne.
They're the sort of ones that Stretch really should kick because he's a beautiful deliverer of the ball.
Well, he had no trouble making the distance from about 55 metres out and running into that open goal. And they're the things he must capitalise on.
Owen chips in and takes a good mark on the 50-metre line. And that kick by Brayshaw dropping short. But Rod Owen summing up the situation quite well. There hasn't had many kicks, Rod Owen. 5 kicks and 5 hand passes. But more importantly, he's kicked 3 goals and 3 goals straight. Not a bad kick by Owen. Got the distance? Yes, it's his 4th. And close to half-time, Melbourne have a 20-point advantage, 15-7 to 12-5.
Well, as I said earlier, that kicking action of Rod Owen is almost perfect. Very little margin for error. The kick from Rod Owen coming from maybe just outside that 50-metre mark. 53 metres he would have been kicking that from, and made the distance quite easily.
Inside the last 30 seconds of the first half, Stynes winning it, but Storitsky takes it out of the centre for North, past Brett Lovett, down towards Carey. Couldn't quite pick it up with the one hand, but recovers beautifully to give it to Larkin. They can get one through Sean Smith just about on the siren. Smith's kick for goal goes across the face, however, and one behind. 12-6 plays 15-7. Margin of 19 points. Campbell has run out of time. Yes, as Glenn Lovett takes the mark in the back pocket. So ends an entertaining first half here at the MCG. They certainly couldn't quite keep up the rattling pace of the first quarter, but at half-time, Melbourne lead. For Melbourne, we saw Rod Owen finish half here at the MCG. Melbourne are 15-7. North Melbourne are 12-6. North kicking to the right of screen. Harris winning it, but who will take it out of the centre? It's pushed wide towards the wing. The chase is on, and North get it away through Anthony Stevens, who's come onto the ground. There's been a change made there. Larkins now high inside 50 for North Melbourne. No one able to take it. Clark claim. Football spills free. They bottle it up, and we will see a bounce. So a bounce on the 50-metre line. Stynes and Harris, and it's Stynes who sees it over the line.
I think North have done better with actually Harris playing in the ruck. He's been able to contest much better with Jimmy Stynes. There's a better spring than Gallagher.
Stynes outmanoeuvred on that occasion. Schwass's kick is high, wide, and I'm afraid anything but handsome. Former state player Wayne Schwass trying to regain some of his best form. Has been struggling a little. Stynes in front this time, takes a good mark. Big Jim dictating terms to centre wing. Staritsky from the back, couldn't take it. Larkin in to apply the tackle. Owen, bang, solid. Staritsky through, almost threw it out to Stevens, but he takes it gleefully up towards the 50-metre line. Carey caught behind, and again the Melbourne defence working well. Kick by Febey up towards the half-forward line. Viney been in good form, finds Owen, or will he find him? Wants to twist out of trouble. Gets the hand pass away to Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson's kick is off target, one behind.
Almost slow motion there by Rod Owen. I saw the player about to tackle him and just spun into him very slowly, giving him the opportunity to apply the tackle.
And between those two players, Rod Owen and Darren Cuthbertson, prior to that behind, they'd kicked 7 straight goals for Melbourne. The kick in, Beveridge tries to get the ball clear, chance for Spalding, able to get the hand pass away, so the tackle was ineffective. Stynes, a good pickup, goes back towards Glenn Lovett. Glenn Lovett from just forward of the centre, in towards full forward, and a clean mark taken by Cuthbertson, and he's a very, very impressive young player for Melbourne, is this boy.
Yes, he looks good, doesn't he, Robbo? Only 21 years of age. Just a little nudge there, keeping Ross Smith out of the contest. A clean grab.
So a very important kick for both sides. Cuthbertson early in the third quarter kicks his 4th. 4 goals, 1 to Darren Cuthbertson, 4 goals straight to Rod Owen, and Melbourne lead by 26 points.
He was named in the centre in the team lineups, but Stretch there just fumbling a little bit. He hasn't been too sure with his hands today, Stephen Stretch. Glenn Lovett, a long kick into the forward line, and there it is, Ross Smith just nudged slightly out of position. Cuthbertson taking the mark and kicking his 4th goal.
.26 points, the Demons lead early in the third quarter, so North Melbourne will have to get a bit of a run on. They can't afford to have too much of a deficit in this second half. Kicking towards the half-forward flank area.
Interesting, Robbo, that boundary line on the outer side of the ground has been moved in 3 metres with the construction of that new stand out there. So much less area to play on that outer side of the ground, and also the goals have been moved around at the main scoreboard end 1.5 metres.
North Melbourne struggling to get it clear. Fairley's kick goes back towards German. German takes a good mark. He knew there was someone coming from behind, but he stood his ground nicely. The kick towards half forward, and the mark has been taken by Carey. If North Melbourne are to win this game, they need more from Wayne Carey. The kick in towards full forward, and a good mark, diving mark.
He read the play beautifully, didn't he, Grinter?
Taken by Rodney Grinter. And good perception. His kick is wide, and a juggling mark taken by Stretch.
Very chancy there, Robbo. He was out by himself. And almost let
your
North Melbourne in.
undertones are pretty obvious about Stephen Stretch, Bernie.
No
the kick in towards the centre has been marked by Glenn Lovett.
Let me finish that. There was no undertones intended, but I thought he just his handling of the ball today has been a little unsure.
Dyson heads for goal with a high, long kick up towards full forward. No one waiting down, however, for Melbourne. And a tackle too high. We'll see Stevens take it. Coming onto the ground at the start of the second half, Anthony Stevens goes to the outer side. Looking for McRae, won't find him. North seem just a little rattled. Stynes and Melbourne doing the bulk of the attacking, and the big man has a bounce. Set sail for goal with a long kick. Owen at the back! Well, the Rocket is having a field day.
Yes, he's done very well. Big Darren Bennett holding Michael Martin out of the contest. He wants to play on Rod Owen, and he does that.
Can't do it.
The umpire had called time on, so Rod Owen will have to kick over his mark.
Now he can. Wants to bend it back. He has, I think. What a kick. What a day for Mr. Owen. Melbourne now saying, catch me if you can. 17-8 to 12-6.
Well, they've opened a bit of a gap here at the start of the third term. Melbourne doing very well. 32-point advantage to Melbourne. Rod Owen kicking his 5th goal without any behinds. No blemishes there on Rod Owen's tally. A good performance by him across the half-forward line.
17-8 plays 12-6. The alarm bell's ringing for the Roos. Stynes beaten this time by Harris. Lovett tries to sock her off the ground. Dyson and Sean Smith both over Brett Lovett. Past Viney. Back to Harris. The big man gets rid of it pretty quickly. Look at the tackling of Lovett. Sean Smith loses it. And we find ourselves with a bounce still really just about in the middle.
They've been very desperate today, haven't they, Melbourne? A very desperate combination. Sean Smith just getting up, holding that knee. Nothing too serious, I don't think.
Ruck contest, good jostling there by Darren Harris. A big punch. Scholl overruns it. Dyson collects it rather nicely. And a sweeping hand pass. Gets Stretch into the open. Stretch steadies. Kicks it in towards half forward. Marking contest. Oh, ball comes to the back. Pressure on, and Ross Smith is up to it. He does it well and clears for North Melbourne out towards centre wing. No mark taken, punched away by Stephen Febey, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in on centre wing. Rod Owen, 5 goals. Darren Cuthbertson, 4. Beveridge, 3. And Bennett, who we thought was going to be the leading goal scorer of the day, has only kicked 2. Keogh's kick, was he over before he kicked it? Yes, he was. So we'll call for another.
Well, that's a good sign also too, Robbo. They're not relying on Darren Bennett to kick all the goals for them. Beveridge has done well, the Rover, 3 goals. Cuthbertson in the pocket, 4 goals. And Rod Owen across the half-forward line, 5 goals.
Good play, Stynes. Geez, hard to beat Jimmy Stynes. Beveridge is caught with the football. Spalding taps it on. Stynes is close to it and he gathers it. The bounce was favourable. Well, what can he do here? He'd probably kick a goal. No, he doesn't. I'll tell you what, he's done just about everything else for the afternoon, hasn't he? Marked, punched, handballed, tapped on, given paths to all of his teammates.
Inspirational play. Ross Smith brings it back into play. North want goals and they want them fast. Stynes this time a tap down to accommodate Spalding, but his hand pass is intercepted and eventually pushed towards the boundary line on the outer side, but not out of play. Crane all sorts of bother. Dyson at the bottom of the pack gets it out nicely. Here goes Melbourne again. They really have steadied after a furious opening to this game, and this is one of the reasons up forward. Darren Cuthbertson is marking strongly. Goes for Bennett at the back. What a mark!
What a grab, Sandy. Oh! Fantastic. Big Darren Bennett. Perfect conditions for the full forward. Let's have a look at that mark. Jumping just that little bit early again. Got the right on Michael Martin. A magnificent grab.
So Bennett from 43 metres. Can he finish it off with a goal? I fear not. One behind.
If there was anyone just tending to go to sleep at the MCG, he was surely awake after that. Ross Smith now kicks it back into play. Pretty well straight up the ground. Rod Keogh just leaves it behind. German can't get it out. Glenn Lovett shoots for goal. Glenn Lovett. Kick goes across the face into the opposite forward pocket, and it's out on the full. So a free kick to be taken back there by Ross Smith. And North Melbourne, gee, they'll have to get a bit of a run on. They trail by 34 points, and they haven't had many forays up into their forward line. There's Stynes again. 14 kicks, 7 hand passes, and now 6 marks. And the big fella has led from the front. Yet to kick a goal. He's too far out to score, but good discipline. Out into the front. Gathered by Glenn Lovett. Hand pass away to Owen. What can Owen do? Little pass. Brilliant. Jackson marks in the pocket.
There's clever play there, Rod Owen. He was trapped on his left foot. Didn't panic at all. Weighed up his options and found Ricky Jackson.
And the typical Rover player in short was Glenn Lovett, but he's going to have a shot, Rick. And he kicks it long, just offline to the right. So his tally is 1 goal, 1.
Had a quiet day, Ricky Jackson. Only 2 marks, 3 kicks and 4 handballs.
Melbourne have kicked 2 goals, 4 in this third quarter, and North have not scored. Well, Stynes is in front again, but he can't take it. Pushed down to Harris, the big man doing the roving work. Harris's kick is a good one. Up towards half forward. Here's an opportunity for Spargo. Can North do something here? Up towards Longmire. Campbell comes off his boot and over the line. Spargo asked the question on the full. I'm afraid not.
Rod Grinder's played a good game today too, Sandy.
Yep.
Very disciplined game.
Yes.
Read the play well and backed up the Tony Campbell playing at fullback. He's really assisted him.
From the throw-in, Spargo again. Look at the tackling. It has been very good. That went over the line, I think, before Jackson could get a clean kick. So another throw-in. And we haven't seen one deliberate out of bounds. We haven't seen anyone trying to shovel the ball out, I don't think.
And no 50 metres either today.
No, I don't think we have either. In fact, there was only one last night, so I wonder if there's been a bit of chatting going on. Lovell back towards centre wing. Viney leads in the race for the football. Been one of Melbourne's best so far this year, but he's beaten on this occasion. Fairly unloaded as he gets his kick towards German. Lovett goes for the steal. May come off for Melbourne. Keogh gives it back again. Things just starting to work nicely for the Demons. He kicks to half forward to Owen. Well, he is a real danger man, Rodney Owen. And he wants to let loose with one. Doesn't quite get onto the torpedo. Viney was waiting at the back. Bennett got a hand to it. McRae's hand pass is wide. Martin may get there. Spalding comes in from the side. They didn't clash. And we'll have a throw in.
Well done, Earl. Spalding there to get there and apply the pressure though to Michael Martin.
I'll tell you what, if they did clash, someone will be very sore now. Spalding gets the tap down. Looking for Jackson. Couldn't find him. Rock was there. North Melbourne free kick to Styritzky.
Styritzky's kick is wide, and he finds Smith, who's playing in the centre now on Dyson. And a big leap by Brett Lovett. Couldn't take the mark. North Melbourne have possession wide. Oh, scrambling kick. Their play has been very, very ordinary in this third term, North Melbourne. Spargo trying to create an opportunity. Stevens is caught. Run down by Stretch. Grinter picks up the crumbs. Kicks it too fiercely out there for Rode. But Rode recovers nicely. 3-on-1. And look at the confidence. Melbourne may have just messed it up. Brett Lovett, good strength. Gets the handball back to Clark. Clark, they've had about 6 possessions and North haven't even looked like touching the football. They do now because Styritzky marks at half back. Justin Styritzky. High kick, back in towards the centre. No mark taken, good punch away. Stretch is there to pick up the crumbs. Clark with pace, breaks away. Second bounce by Stephen Clark. Up towards half forward, kick into the pocket. No mark taken, punched away by North Melbourne. Goes back towards half back. Chandler's handball. Gives Styritzky the opportunity to gather the ball. Hand pass in towards the centre. Gallagher. Hand pass is too far for Matthew Larkin. Stynes has bustled out of it. Larkin will get a possession and eventually gives a scrappy looking hand pass back to Styritzky. North Melbourne in slow motion. They should lose the football because it's just terrible stuff by North. Still they're trying hard out there, and Rock has the football with Jay Stynes. Umpire will bounce.
Well, Robbo, you said a scrappy handball, but there's been about 10 scrappy handballs by North Melbourne in this term. They've just missed the target on so many occasions. And in a pressure situation such as this, they really can't afford to do that because Melbourne are making the most of all the mistakes that North are making.
This time the ironical cheers come up from the Melbourne members. Stephen Stretch has it on the outer side. Goes in towards half forward. Schwass. As Bernie said, they're finding things a little difficult at the moment. To the outer side, and Styritzky socks down, takes the mark on the wing. They still have not scored this quarter. Melbourne, the fence standing strong. And just doing it with relative ease. In towards the middle. And Spargo has it.
Spargo's been moved up to the flank too, and Sean Smith playing in the centre. And Scholl is picking up Rod Owen on the half-back flank. Rod Owen playing half-forward flank.
Spargo's kick to the right half-forward flank. Down to Schwass. Thought about going back to Longmire. Stevens in trouble, but does get it out. Carey's kick is short. Stynes, he's a best on-ground performance so far, Jimmy, and he's been pinged this time.
Well, he's trapped the ball underneath him, Jimmy, and didn't really make much of an attempt to get rid of that ball. So the free kick going to Wayne Carey. He'll have a shot for goal from maybe just inside the 50-metre mark.
And while that was happening, Bernie, Paul Bryce has come onto the ground, replacing Earl Spalding. Bryce up against his old side.
Just while there's a bit of a lull, Sandy, Melbourne are very good at spilling the player who takes the mark to the ground to stop the play. They've done it very well in the second and the third quarters.
Carey now from just outside 50. Out the bound on the full. I think the Melbourne fans are saying justice was done.
Yeah, I think it was a tough decision, Sandy. I think Jimmy Stynes did drag the ball under him, and not a great attempt to get rid of it, but Wayne Carey, not a great day at centre-half forward.
Stynes couldn't take that mark. Now he's got the free kick. The advantage is being paid. Keogh goes high, up towards the wing. Owen sets himself, couldn't take the mark. Viney, the handball over the top to Clark is good. Another one to Dyson. Melbourne on the move again. Dyson flicks it in towards the forward line. Who can recover the quickest? Waiting was Jackson, couldn't take it. And eventually Ross Smith it is who gets it away, and North Melbourne come out of trouble. Up to Anthony Stevens on centre wing.
Oh, Larkin. He was always gone, Matthew Larkin. Stephen Clark saw it from a long way off and ran down nicely. And the North Melbourne captain had nowhere to go. Gallagher and Stynes gathering for the ruck contest. Gallagher gets in front, but he's bumped out of it too easily. Look at Stynes. Was that a throw? No, he answers the umpire. Don't know what you'd call it then. And Stynes goes after it again and somehow feeds it to Brett Lovett. He always seems to have an hour to get rid of it, Brett Lovett. And again finds his target. It's Stephen Clark. Passing towards centre-half forward. Bryce can't mark. Goes after it again. Gathers it nicely. Kicks with the left foot towards a vacant centre-half forward position. Free kick. Just further from where Bryce kicked it. That's going to Beveridge.
They look a little bit rattled, North Melbourne, Robbo.
Little wonder. They've got nothing for their efforts so far in this third term. Absolutely nothing. Scoreboard for them hasn't changed since half-time, and we've only got 8 minutes left in this third quarter. So 17-11 Melbourne. They've kicked 2-4. This may be 3-4. Jackson. Lovely kick by Jackson's a goal. So Ricky Jackson kicks his second goal. Melbourne get their 18th, and the Demons 18-11. North Melbourne 12-6.
It's a big break now to Melbourne. Ricky Jackson finding space on that forward line. They've really worked hard around the centre of the ground. Dyson's been a good player in the centre. Todd Viney on the wing. The half-back line has been good. Brett Lovett has played an excellent game along with Glenn Lovett.
Back in the middle once more. North still looking for their first score of the quarter. Anthony Rock has it. Goes out wide over the head of Stretch and taken by McCarthy. Swings round in towards half forward. No one at home. Lovett and Clark are both there for Melbourne. And look at this defence. They bring it away with absolute ease. Taking it to the outer side of the ground. Viney's away. 2 bounces. Stabs it up towards half forward. He was looking for Owen. It wasn't a good kick. Scholl goes over the top to German. They've almost stopped to a walk. Chandler to the half forward line for North Melbourne. Larkin held when he didn't have it.
So Brett Lovett's played a great game on Matthew Larkin.
Centering kick again. Bad bounce for Grinter. Good one for Febey, but he has trouble controlling it. Grinter in solidly again. Tackling of Melbourne has been a feature. Stretched through without it. Campbell. Stevens. A score at last for North in this term and a goal. Anthony Stevens gets his first and the Roos first for the term. 18-11 plays 13-6.
Yeah, been a dismal quarter for the Roos. Very slow to get the ball down to that forward line. Melbourne have been dominant across the centre of the ground, but North Melbourne just forced the ball into the forward line on this occasion. Spargo with a hand pass, finding Stevens. But they need another couple of quick goals to get back in this match.
Lucky he kicked it. There was a guy in the goal square on his own. I didn't quite pick up who it was. 6.5 minutes left in the third term. Melbourne go forward again. Dyson read the ruck contest beautifully. Up towards full forward. Melbourne mark Cuthbertson. I'll tell you what, for his centimetres, this boy is a very promising type. Good hands.
Yeah, it's only 185 centimetres, but he moves around the forward line, which is very important. He's not a prop and cop player. He's a player who really moves, jumps into the ball, makes it difficult for the defenders.
He's kicked 4. Surely couldn't miss from there. And it's straight through the centre. So Cuthbertson has got 5. Rod Owen has got 5. And the next best of Beveridge with 3, and for North Melbourne, German has 3.
Well, you cannot help but be impressed by Melbourne's team performance today. They've had tremendous spirit out of the centre of the ground. Kevin Dyson, who's been at Fitzroy and Carlton, as I mentioned earlier, winning that ball out of the centre of the ground, kicking directly to the goal face. And Cuthbertson took that great mark.
19-11, 13-6 with just under 6 minutes left. Stynes. Staritsky for North Melbourne. Handball wide. Scholl over the top. Will it bounce nicely? No, it doesn't for Schwass. Owen. Oh, good strong stuff by Rod Owen. And he repels that promising North Melbourne attack. Demons will go in through Keogh. Keogh wide at half forward. Short pass is good. Mark is taken by Bennett in front of Martin. And Bennett is 45 metres from goal.
Well, they're just doing as they like. It's good to see the forward there, Rod Owen, working hard to get back in defence, following his man Scholl up onto that half-forward line and putting pressure on the North Melbourne defenders.
Now Bennett has kicked 2. Glenn Lovett looking for the short pass, but I don't think the full forward will be giving it off that easily. His long kick gets the distance, but not the accuracy. And it's through for his second behind. Darren Bennett has kicked 2-2. Melbourne, who started the game with 9-1 in the first quarter, as did North Melbourne, have advanced to 19-12.
And a margin now of 42 points. 7 straight goals favouring the Demons. Rock at half-back. Kicks over the centre, looking for Spargo. Couldn't find him. McCarthy's at the back. Back to Spargo again he goes. Gets a hurried left foot kick down towards the half-forward line. Clark gets a bad bounce. Campbell chances his arm and fists it clear towards half-back. Larkin this time beats Lovell. Does it well, but his kick lets him down. Jackson had spent it before he got it. But they're continually harassing North and putting them off their game. Viney down towards Bryce. It bounces away, but he continues to run forward. Here's another one coming up. Is it for Cuthbertson? They tell me he's off target. Well, he is, sadly. And he's kicking to date. What is it, Robbo? You're
5-1.
One out of bounds on the full, that one.
Pretty hard to see all the sticks there beside his name, isn't it, Sandy?
extraordinary. Bryce behind Gallagher. Neither can take it. Owen sweeps his way through. A hand pass out in front of Viney. Could be collared here. He is, but he gets the ball out. It was Staritsky. A kick to the space. Stretch chasing for Melbourne. McCarthy for North Melbourne. Grinter is also there. Stretch picks it up beautifully. Delivers into the centre. A kick a little too far out for Keogh, but he gets a nice bounce. And does it well. Up towards the forward line he goes with a long kick. Jackson waits at the back. It comes down over to the front. Martin is there. He leaves it for German. Back to Rock in the back pocket. Now Smith. And North out of trouble. Peter German through half back. Sweeps the hand pass to Staritsky. Back he goes again to German. What can they set up? Rock is caught. There's a line of 5 Melbourne players chasing, and they will bring it back. Well, they won't, because there's a free kick. But did you see that line, Bernie, of just 5 red and blue jumpers?
Amazing, Sandy. They've worked particularly hard. The players have ran all day, and it's very warm conditions out there. It got to 28 degrees at one stage.
kicking towards full forward. I think, Bernie, you've got to give credit to the key Melbourne defenders. I know Tony Campbell has played on Longmire for most of the day, but gee, they've shut Longmire and Carey out of the game pretty well, haven't they?
Well, I give credit to the players at the centre of the ground, the Melbourne midfielders, who have made it very difficult for North Melbourne to get the ball in the forward line.
Chance there for Dyson. He goes back to his look-alike, Todd Viney. Todd Viney's kicking towards the centre, and a good mark under pressure from Scholl is taken by Rod Owen. Owen, a long way up from half forward. He's nearly at half back for Melbourne, but the kick is pretty good. Goes to centre half forward. Smith's pulled off the football. Chandler, good pressure by Jackson. And a real good contest as Chandler takes it over the boundary line in the left forward pocket for Melbourne. And the Demon fans are ecstatic with the endeavour shown by Ricky Jackson.
Robbo, again, it was 3 Melbourne players to 1 North Melbourne player.
Well, it's teamwork that wins football matches.
Under 2 minutes remaining from the bounce. Oh, he hung on to it just about too long, Keogh, and lost it. It may be only temporary. Lovett has it. Pressure from Schwass. Dyson, a quick kick into the forward line. Could be a free kick to Keogh. Not to be. Schwass again takes it and gets North momentarily out of trouble. Lovett and Gallagher. The big man does well, Gallagher. Gets a hand pass wide. Glenn Lovett is there. Overruns it on this occasion. Hasn't made too many mistakes today. Scholl under pressure from Viney. But he's got a free kick. Helwell's not in possession.
A bit fortunate, Sandy, because Larkin and Scholl almost fighting each other for the ball there on the members' wing.
Craig Scholl with a drop punt to half forward. Rarely has it been down in the North Melbourne forward zone this term. Throwing out the back door. Spargo looking for the free kick. He's got it underneath. The cry of ball goes up, but play on. Gallagher in towards full forward. Can they get a goal here? They need it so badly. Rock should. Away from Road and puts it through. Well. Hit the post. That's how well they're travelling at the moment.
Well, I'd already marked that down for a goal.
Well, you'll have to take off 5 points, Robbo. I'm sorry, it did hit the post. This is Viney. So had I, mate. Viney's kick up towards Bennett. They've got a number of key players up there that can take the grab. Cuthbertson being another one. Jackson takes the hand pass, flicks around in towards goal. There's another one for the Demons. Jackson gets his third. 2 in this quarter.
So many options on that forward line, Sandy. Cuthbertson 5 goals, Jackson 3. Beveridge 3. The Rovers have done well. Ricky Jackson almost a permanent forward pocket. And Darren Bennett, the player we would have expected to kick a bag today, has only kicked 2.
Amazing stuff, isn't it? Rock misses from one end. Melbourne go forward and get a goal very quickly down the other end through Ricky Jackson. And the siren is sounded to end the third term. At 3/4 time, Melbourne lead 20 goals 12. North Melbourne at 13-7.
Thank you, Jared. A real wordsmith. Back in the middle for the final quarter. Gallagher's on the ball for North Melbourne. Up against Stynes. Overrun by Lovell. Almost gave a push in the back. He did, said the umpire.
That's right, Sandy. North Melbourne won here last year by 127 points.
Yes, I think
when Longmire kicked 14 goals.
Kicked 30-something, didn't they?
Yes.
An absolute field day. But it's a different story today. Speaking of Longmire, he's going to lose it. Good tackle by Grinder.
Looks like Longmire now is playing at centre-half forward with Carey at full forward. Oh, Jimmy, that should be 50 metres. Come on, umpire.
Oh, I think Jimmy Stynes made it look a little worse than it was.
Still having a word with Gallagher. Owen couldn't complete the mark. Staritsky gets the hand pass across to Scholl. Craig Scholl gets a kick back towards the left half forward flank. It won't bounce back in for Jim Stynes. And he'll go back to do the ruck work with his good friend Gallagher.
He's got a lovely nature about him, Jimmy Stynes. When he's on top, he loves to let everyone know that Melbourne are winning comfortably.
He's got no worries about that today. Gallagher. The hurried kick was by Beveridge. He's kicked 3 goals. Been a very effective player. Staritsky cops a hard one against Spalding behind play, and he's okay. Brayshaw sends North forward. Rock was held. And will be free kick, no doubt about it.
Yes, that was blatant.
Anthony Rock. Centering for Carey. Can he get there in time? He cannot. With him is Peter Rowe. They both lean on one another. Lovett perhaps a little fortunate. Stynes at the back. Tidies up again. Good shepherding. Keeps fairly out of it. But Jim's kick lets his side down out of bounds on the full, and that was the shepherding.
Campbell. Not too happy with each other, Sandy.
No.
Tony Campbell.
Fairly, I don't think, appreciated being kept out of that piece of play. But nevertheless, it goes on. Schwass for North. Up towards half forward. Over the head of Carey, in fact, it goes. Clark in the back pocket will repel the attack. But he's gone wide. It's okay. Kept in play by Stephen Stretch. And Stretch will bounce his way around the wing. 3 bounces. Larkin chasing, but he won't get him. Now Melbourne inside 50. Owen in front. Couldn't take the mark. And eventually taken over the line. No, it's not, said the umpire. So Spalding picks it up. Goes with the left foot. Of course it was. Martin gets the hand pass away, and North are out of trouble to German at half back.
A short kick into the centre, and Peter German transfers play back onto this member's wing. Gallagher has got a player loose at half forward at Styritzky. Now North Melbourne, with these possessions, must do something with it. Up towards full forward, marking contest. Nobody takes it except Anthony Rock, and this time he kicks a definite goal for North Melbourne. Anthony Rock gets his third, and North Melbourne charging home 14-7, trail Melbourne 2012.
Replay.
One. 132 plays 91. Back in the centre, Gallagher and Stynes. Neither gets a decisive tap away. Styritzky tries to storm through, almost gets there, but it's Grinter who picks it up. Kicks back towards half forward. Waiting down in front is Lovell. A tap on to Stretch. Another one to Dyson. He's a good player, Dyson. Look at that. Straight to Bennett. And he's going to go short as well. Are they Lairising here? Perhaps they were a little. Run over the line by Chandler. So a throw in the right forward pocket. Spalding unable to take it cleanly. Oh, look at that tackling. It's fierce. The ball spills free to Spalding. Now he's bending this back. Oh, he's goaled, and it's a beauty. What a goal. The Duke of Earl.
Well, it was an incredible goal there in the finish by Earl Spalding, because I'm sure Melbourne supporters have seen him deliberate over direct shots, but here's a chance for him to show his unbelievable ability, and this kick just kept on coming back and eventually sneaked through for Melbourne's 21st goal. Bounce back in the centre. Gallagher gets the tap out. German gets his foot to the ball. Up towards centre half forward. It goes a little awkwardly for Sean Smith. He's dispossessed. Brett Lovett just camping around that half back line. He does a wonderful job for Melbourne. Now the kick by Grinter. Up towards the wing, and the mark is taken by Owen. Owen's kick in towards half forward. Beveridge, Chandler, Todd Viney gives it away. Scholl to Larkin at centre half back. Kicking towards the centre, German. Looked a little surprised to gather that ball, Peter German. Kicking towards half forward, Rock. Clark fell over. Rock goes back, he's held by Febey, and he made it look a little worse, but he certainly was retarded just ever so slightly, and Rock will take the free kick about 40 metres, maybe a little closer from goal. So Anthony Rock, who has kicked 3 goals, a chance to get goal number 15 for North Melbourne. I've got Anthony Rock down for 3, Sandy. You know why? Because I've put him down for that one that he supposedly kicked in the 3rd term. But he really has only kicked 2. Here's a chance now for North Melbourne. Smith kick across the face, and it's out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Northerners.
So nothing going right for North Melbourne at the moment. Jackson gains probably 15 metres away from the attacking zone, but Styritzky holds it up. Back to Jackson again. Still in there, and well done by the little man as he gets it out to Stynes. Styritzky's down with cramp behind the play. Owen chasing in the centre. Gets a B-grade bounce. Could have tried to tap over the back, in fact, there. The soccer's off the ground. He's had a good day, Rocket. It goes over the line on the outer side with Glenn Lovett giving chase. And Owen just holding that right leg, but I don't think he'd be feeling too much pain at the moment.
Tough as old boots, Rod Owen.
Yep. He's added some spark and bite too to that Melbourne forward line. Spalding takes it out of the air, gives it to Dyson. Back again. Here's the kick by Spalding. Oh, the Duke has done it again.
He is an enigma, isn't he, Earl Spalding? He's kicked 2 goals.
Yes, and not a bad move by John Northey in that third quarter. He gave Spalding a rest. He was on the bench for quite some time in the third term. And John Northey gave Paul Bryce a run at centre-half forward. And a good move on a day where the temperature reached 28 degrees. So a few petrol tickets left there for Earl Spalding in the last term.
Well, importantly for Melbourne, they've had a lot of goal kickers when their key forward, Darren Bennett, has only managed 2. Styritzky up towards centre-half forward, no mark. Melbourne to gather the crumbs again. Brett Lovett, lovely hand pass to Stretch. In turn to Jackson, wide on the wing. Jackson spots a player in the centre at Stynes. He couldn't quite take the mark. Cuthbertson, left foot kick by that player, in towards full forward. Bounces kindly for Viney. Oh, he just couldn't quite control it. And it goes through for a behind, which we will probably credit up here anyway to Darren Cuthbertson. 22-13 to 14-7. And the kick in goes short. The mark is taken by Larkin. German, half-back. Between half-back and centre wing, German kicks it high towards half-forward. He's had 26 possessions, Peter German. It's punched away from Wayne Carey, and we'll have another boundary throw in it. It is in North Melbourne's forward half, but maybe 2.5 kicks from their goal.
Gallagher and Stynes. To battle on the outer side. Dyson waits at the back, and here he is. He's got it now. Gives it away to Brett Lovett. Down towards Owen. He's had a veritable field day. Rod Owen. Look at that. From 55 metres. Set sail for Darren Bennett. Can he get front spot? Yes! Not paying. Spalding throws it back in. But North will get out of trouble to Styritzky. Can't take the mark. Great desperation shown by Melbourne. Rock over the top to Chandler. Now they drift it down to half-back. And Michael Martin bounces his way in towards the middle. Kicks long and high, up towards half-forward. Rode and Carey. Carey spins out of trouble beautifully. He should goal here. One bounce, 30 metres, steadies and goals. That's his second. And North's 15th. 15-7 plays 22-13.
Well, there's still 8 goals down, North Melbourne. They haven't given up, but they've just been outclassed by Melbourne. Wayne Carey, a very quiet day. Only 8 kicks and 2 hand passes. Only 4 marks for him at centre-half forward, playing on Peter Road. He's had a spell at full forward. It hasn't really produced the goods.
(22-13 to 15-7). The ball at half forward for Melbourne. Desperate play by Brayshaw, but chipping in is Owen. He can't control the football. Styritzky has played a fair game. Gets it away to Fairley. Fairley's left foot kick really drops in short, and Dyson marks in front of Larkin.
There's one of the best players on the ground, Kevin Dyson. He's been magnificent playing in the centre. 17 kicks, 8 hand passes and 4 marks.
Dyson, a nice kick too. Goes about 50 metres up towards full forward. Taken by Chandler, gives it away to Brayshaw. Brayshaw in short. Oh, bad option. chipping in stretch. Oh, he's crunched to the ground. Could have nearly got a free kick. Brayshaw goes short again, and the mark is taken by Larkin.
It's always a worry, that short option, when there's a couple of players bearing down. Always better to go long.
Brett Lovett nearly takes a miraculous mark. Sweeping hand pass, looks for Stynes. He overruns the football. Sean Smith taps on. Road is dispossessed. All players leave it behind. Now a chance for Glenn Lovett. He's caught by Schwass. He's still got the football, but the umpire giving that player the benefit of the doubt. No chance to get rid of it. I shall bounce. Sounds like Simon Eichelt's playing, doesn't he? I shall bounce. Punch towards half forward. Clark for Melbourne. Leaves it for his teammate in Febey. Febey clears. This time it's good ball handling, but a bad option by Stretch. The hand pass was on to Keogh, who's just come on the ground, and his kick goes over on the full. So the free kick to be taken back there by Mark Brayshaw.
I think Staritsky thought he was going to take it 25 metres down the ground, but it wasn't to be. Smith in towards full forward. And an easy mark taken this time by McCarthy.
There's McCarthy back on the forward line. He did have a spell at centre-half back when Fairley went onto the forward line, but really Wayne Schimmelbusch, he's made a few moves, but nothing's come off today.
Just on 40 metres. Drop punt looks pretty good off the boot. And there's another one to McCarthy. So he has booted 2, 1 in the second quarter. And North have advanced to 16-7, trailing Melbourne 22-13.
Well, their forward line's not too bad if they can get the ball down there quickly. They've got 3 potential goal kickers, Carey, Longmire and McCarthy. They've been, Melbourne have been dominant around the centre of the ground, especially with Jimmy Stynes controlling the ruck.
"14 minutes left in the term." Stynes' punch was intercepted by Brayshaw, and now Stephen Febey, he's a dasher across that half-back line for Melbourne. His kick towards half-forward has been thumped over the boundary line by Fairley and Road, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Looks like Rhodes now playing at centre-half forward, with Earl Spalding having a stint at centre-half back.
Boundary throw-in, left half forward for the Demons. Punched away. Ross Smith gathers the ball for North. Back in towards the centre wing position. Looking at the back was Gallagher. Now Smith gets it away to German. What can North Melbourne do? If they break clear like this, they really should score a goal. German's option not bad. Spargo. Brilliant football by Paul Spargo. They're going to mess it up. It's got to be a certainty. No, Spargo may kick it in the finish, and he does. Paul Spargo, 2 goals. And North Melbourne making a late rush. They've kicked their 17th, but they still trail by 36 points.
Well, at least they're finishing off a little bit better, North Melbourne. They've kicked 4 goals for the term. Melbourne have only been able to manage 2 from the boot of Earl Spalding. But a little bit of sting's gone out of the game, and North Melbourne getting their running game going.
Just on 13 minutes remaining. 1:45 plays 1:09. Melbourne lead. And it's Viney who takes it away courtesy of Glenn Lovett up towards Owen on the left half forward flank. Out in front. Can he control it? He cannot. And Craig Scholl sees him and the ball over the line.
They're deliberate there, Sandy, too. Rod Owen, when he went to ground, there was no other option. He was in a lot of trouble, but he handballed it straight over the boundary line.
First one of those we've seen today, too.
And there's been a few earlier that could have been penalised.
Schwass, high, very high. Carey, like a windmill, but he pulls it in. 5th mark for Wayne Carey. Goes up towards the right half forward flank. Schwass, nicely to McCarthy.
He did well to keep that in, Wayne Schwass. Kicking on his unnatural foot. He's a left footer, but was able to try to centre that ball. McCarthy out in front. Well done, Schwash.
McCarthy going for goal number 3. Drop punts on its way, and he's drifted that right across the face of goal, and it's out of bounds on the foot.
There's been some fantastic goals kicked today, Sandy. I mean, Earl Spalding's 2 goals were really good ones. Rod Owen has kicked a couple of good ones. And Darren Cuthbertson, of course.
To the half-back line. Spalding in that pack, couldn't take it. Keogh gets a hurried kick up towards the wing. Must have been very hurried because he's got it now. Stretch. To the right half-forward flank. Martin on the second grab. Michael Martin from half-back. Oh, look at that. There are 3 Melbourne players there. They raffled it, and Todd Viney won the raffle. Putting Melbourne inside 50, and this young man has been very, very impressive. Darren Cuthbertson has booted 5. He's going to be kicking from 45 metres.
Well, far too easy, isn't it, Sandy? There's no North Melbourne defenders filling up the gaps. Really, that's up to the midfielders to get back there and help.
Good-looking drop punt, may have just drifted it across to the right. So, from the hieroglyphics of Ian Robertson,
5-3.
tells me 5-3.
Just thought I'd help you out there, Alexander.
Oh dear. Brayshaw to bring it back into play.
Brayshaw's kick wide to half-back on that outer side. North are a chance. Good gather by Rock. He's played a fair game, fairly. He taps it, fortunately, to Stevens. Stevens goes wider. Chandler and turn to German. Can they get something out of this? German's kick in towards full forward. No mark taken. Longmire. Oh, there's a free kick to Clark. And Melbourne supporters happy. Free kicks have been 26 to North Melbourne, 16 to Melbourne, so maybe they've got some reason to deliver the ironical cheers. Viney taps it to the advantage, finishes with Brett Lovett. Lovely long hand pass to Keogh. Keogh's kick in towards full forward. Not a bad pass. The ball slips through at the back. Chandler's there to help out for North Melbourne. Goes for the handball to Martin. In turn, German. No, it was Scholl. The kick in the finish by Ross Smith under pressure. Stretch overruns it, and Staritsky takes it over very near the players' interchange area where Anthony Lovell is preparing to come on for Melbourne. Tapped down by Bennett, goes to Keogh. Keogh's kick, no one home for Melbourne. Oh, dropping a sitter back there is fairly. Melbourne will get a goal. Absolute certainty. Jackson into an open goal, and he kicks it for the Demons. Ricky Jackson has kicked 4. Melbourne 23-14. And if I sound a little disappointed, North 17-7. That was a shocking mistake by North.
Well, that's really rubbing salt into the wounds there, because on the first instance there wasn't a North Melbourne ruckman there to contest the boundary throw-in. That put pressure on Fairley. Well, really no pressure at all, because he should have taken that mark. And Ricky Jackson just running into the open goal.
152 plays 109. Gallagher goes it alone. Schwass got a bad bounce. Keogh there also. Free kick going the way of Beveridge. 3 goals to Beveridge, 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Up towards Cuthbertson. Look at the use of the body. Is this another one to the young man? He's just about flattened the goal upright. It is. 6 goals to Darren Cuthbertson, and Melbourne move to 24-14, leading North Melbourne 17-7.
Well, that's one well done by the young fella in the forward line. Darren Cuthbertson got his opponent out of the way, played on quickly, and on the left boot kicked his 6th goal. But Melbourne have been completely dominant. Grinter coming off the ground has played a great game for Melbourne. A very disciplined game today by Grinter.
6 goals to Darren Cuthbertson. Fine 21st birthday present, even though it is a fortnight late. The man turned 21 a couple of weeks ago. Schwass. A little basketball going on at the moment, but they're off again. Beveridge stabbing into half forward. Jackson at the back. Bennett tried to do the shepherding work. Jackson still at the bottom. Bennett in over the top.
Oh, that's Chandler didn't even know where the football was, Bernie, did he?
I thought Chandler was right into Jackson's back in the first instance.
Kick wide, looking out there for Larkin. Good interception by Todd Viney. and he's going as fast now and as hard as he did in the early minutes. Todd Viney, kick off the ground by Bennett, back to Bennett from Cuthbertson, and Bennett goes for goal. That rubs salt into the wound. Bennett 3 goals. Look at the fans, and they're all Melbourne supporters, and they're all happy because their Demons have kicked 25-14, Melbourne 17-7.
Oh, real Pele stuff there by Darren Bennett. Using soccer tactics, Todd Viney beating 3 North Melbourne players out there, was able to block the hand pass. And look at this by Darren Bennett. Soccers it off the ground, the hand pass back from Cuthbertson. And Darren Bennett, who's been moved out to centre-half forward, kicking that goal.
Gallagher gets the tap out. Beveridge will get it. Handball over the top. Goes to Stephen Febey. Feby's kicked to half forward. Melbourne mark nearly to Bryce. He's dispossessed. Jackson gathers it. Kicks it across his body up towards full forward. It goes through. Melbourne outnumber again. Dyson goes to Lovell. Lovell shot for goal. It's another goal to Melbourne. And if that's a recording, well, it certainly sounds like it. And Shimmer, you've got some problems. What's that good difference there, Bernie? 61 points.
61, yes. A magnificent performance by the Demons. North Melbourne looked very unsure. Their ball handling has been uncertain. Sloppy hand passing of the ball let Melbourne in on many occasions. It's been a completely dedicated and committed Melbourne side.
First goal to Andy Lovell. He's been used off the bench. 61 points the margin. Gallagher and Stynes. Gallagher got a hand to that one. Larkin gets a high left foot kick up towards the half forward line. Spalding going backwards. Clark waiting down in front. Opposing rover a Rock on his hammer. Keogh almost threw it out. Here's a chance now for Rock from 40 metres. Anthony Rock's kick sprays across the face of goal, and a good mark taken by Peter Road. In the back pocket. Looking for Spalding, but well read by Larkin, who stabs short in towards half forward. And Anthony Rock will have another shot at goal. Coming up for his 14th kick.
Melbourne have had 34 more kicks than North Melbourne, Sandy.
They've almost had that many more scoring shots. As the kick at goal won't quite make the distance, tapped over the back for one behind. What is it, 40 scoring shots to 25. And they're without that man, Gary Lyon.
Kick in goes towards Keogh, but he's beaten for it by Stevens, and Stevens runs in towards the 50-metre line. Here's a mark to Schwass, very close to the goal square. And I think most of the North Melbourne supporters, by the sound of that, may have left the ground because there weren't too many cheers. This man's tried his heart out, but a lot of his kicks have been under pressure, which is a credit to Melbourne. Schwass kicks for goal and hits the post. What can go right for North? Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's the sort of day it has been. Earl Spalding coming off the ground. He's been replaced by Rod Grinter. An enormous ovation for Earl Spalding. Has played very well.
Kick in comes to this member's side. A punch on. Opportunity for Keogh. He tries to spin out of trouble. Well tackled by Gallagher, the 231s. And that's a kick out on the full by McRae. And again, North Melbourne just can't take a trick.
Well, that was unlucky because Keogh just hand passed it into McRae's boot.
Keogh's kick towards half forward. Grinter at the back. Brayshaw gathers it nicely, but it's intercepted beautifully by Viney's court and should be penalised, and is so.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Be careful there, Michael Martin.
North Melbourne make a change. McRae off and Sturitsky on. Free kick at half back to be taken by Michael Martin. He kicks it high towards centre wing. Stynes in front. Can't mark. Opportunity for Keogh. Oh, casual as you like. Tries to give it off to Jackson. Chipping in is Stevens. He kicks direct towards the North Melbourne goal. Punched away by Road. McCarthy can't gather it. Good tidying up work by Clark. Feeds it off to Road. He in turn shares it with Jackson. Jackson's little chip into the centre, and the mark is taken by Dyson, and if he doesn't look like Todd Viney without the headband, I'll go he. Up towards full forward, no mark taken for Melbourne. At the back, Chandler. A kick into no man's land, goes wide, out towards half-back, and it bounces over. Thank goodness Todd Viney's wearing a headband, because the front on between number 50 there in the picture, Kevin Dyson, and Todd Viney is a dead set look-alike. Doing the ruck work for North Melbourne is Spargo. Somehow he gets it down to Rock. His hand pass over the top to Chandler. Larkin, or Chandler comes bursting his way through again. Maybe they needed a little bit more desperation like that in the third quarter. Stynes' kick over across half-back. And a mark has been paid.
A mark?
Well, I would think, wouldn't you? To Larkin?
Oh, I couldn't see that.
Well, he wastes no time, gives it away to Schwass. He, in turn, casual as you like, passing towards the forward pocket. The mark is taken by German. German, 14 kicks and 13 hand passes. He's kicked 3 goals. So workmanlike performance by Peter German. And he misses to the left. So his total is 3 goals, 1. 58 points the difference in favour of Melbourne.
Stretch, tucked in the back pocket. Coming up for his 14th kick. To a congested half-back line. Schwass waiting down. Gets a hurried left foot kick. May go straight back to Stretch. Beautifully to centre wing. Stynes has his name all over it. Plays on quickly to Clark in the middle. That's good play. Clark steadies. Look at this. Beautiful play. A little bit of a Barney still going on behind play, but it doesn't matter. Cuthbertson setting sail for goal, is he? He's kicked another one. That's 7. And still they want to argue.
Yeah, they're not too happy with Jimmy Stynes there, Gallagher and Carey. I didn't think Jimmy Stynes was such a bad bloke, but they seem to be really keen to get stuck into him there. Cuthbertson, 7 goals, now playing at full forward. Leading into a wide open forward line. Plenty of space. But still on behind play. Carey has had a very quiet day, but finally deciding he's going to do something, and that's stir up the Melbourne defenders. Forward line players, I should say.
Play goes
defenders.
on, Bernie. Tackle too high on Keogh. And the frustration is coming out now for North Melbourne. Keogh goes down towards Cuthbertson. Can't take the mark. Lovett keeps it in play. Brayshaw gets a hurried kick high. Spargo and Keogh contest on the outer side of the ground, and the ball drifts over the line. Just over 1 minute remaining. Where do North go from here, Bernie?
Well, they've been very disappointing, haven't they, Sandy? They finished off 1990 on a high note, winning 10 of their last 13 games, but their pre-season was good. I don't know what's gone wrong. They're really not getting much out of their ruckman where it's all starting. Their centre line has been fairly ordinary. And Melbourne have been really committed today, whereas North Melbourne, they've made so many skill errors. They've had plenty of the ball, but Melbourne, a very committed side.
That noise you can hear is for Carey as he leaves the ground. Michael Martin, a frustrated man.
If only the players realised that the umpire will never, ever change his mind.
That's what Jimmy Stynes was complaining about. No, Michael Martin, in fact, was complaining about Jimmy Stynes.
Good
being
stats
over his
for a big
shoulder.
man out there. Look at this. He's coming up for his 20th kick. And what is he? 199 centimetres. He'd love to cap it off with a goal. And he has right on the siren. A big victory to Melbourne, and Jim Stynes gets a much-deserved pat on the back. 28-14, that is a cricket score. 28-14, 182. North Melbourne, 17-10, 112.